Hey everyone, it's Maury. It's February 2019, and I am coming up at about 6 months of ownership of my Hymer Aktiv 1.0, and I just thought I would recap my purchase and my ownership experience and just kind of compare what I thought before I bought it to what I know now after having owned it for 6 months. I've actually purchased about 40 or so new and used cars and trucks, but this was actually my first RV purchase, and so I went into it really not knowing a whole lot. I did a lot of research online. The Facebook forums are a great resource, and there are a ton of videos, much like this one, on YouTube that I relied on for information. Recently, everyone has been panicked about the Thor purchase of Erwin Hymer, and more recently, the news that Hymer North America was excluded from the purchase due to the acquisition audit revealing some inconsistencies in the bookkeeping. As a result, warranty work has been put on hold while they sort things out, and it seems like they're going to work it out. I've heard that people are having good communication with Hymer and they're not completely ignoring people, so I think it's going to be business as usual, hopefully fairly soon. All that said, I've noticed that there are still a lot of people that are looking to purchase a Hymer Aktiv, and so I thought I would share some information as a relatively new owner, being just at that 6-month mark. I tend to group things into two categories. One is nice to have and one is need to have. A nice to have is something that you add to a van to make it look nicer, or maybe you improve on something, you make some changes to it that make it more palatable for you in the way that you use it. But it's not really necessary in order for the van to function. A need to have is something that is either already broken, was designed improperly, or it's something that is going to cause an issue, much like the underhood generator shroud that I have in a previous video where it was rubbing some wiring. And as it turns out, it was a fairly widespread issue and needed to be corrected. So that would be considered a need to have. Other things in the need to have category would be the lithium battery replacement or the coolant leak that I had that needed to be taken care of. So let's walk through some of the things that I've done to my van, and I made a list today and I was surprised at how long it actually is. A lot of the things on this list are simple fixes like tightening screws or replacing screws. Some of them are a little more involved, but we'll go over those here.
This is an example of a nice to have, not a need to have. I pulled the power steps off from underneath the driver's and passenger side front doors. I didn't need the steps to get into the van, and for me they were just sort of in the way, so I pulled them off. This is one of my favorite functional modifications. This is a marine-style power center. On the left it has a pair of 5-volt 2.1 amp USB plugs for charging phones and devices and things like that. In between those it has a voltmeter to measure the power in the van battery. On the right is a cigarette lighter style 12-volt plug, and in the middle is a power switch to turn it on and off. I have it run with a quick fuse into the fuse box so that it is available whether the van is running or on or off. Honorable mention for this is an Amazon Basics hotel style safe. It fits perfectly inside the space over the electronics cabinet where the inverter and solar charger live. This is my upgrade for a functional handheld shower in the bathroom. I have a whole video about the installation of this, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. Here we have my Apple TV and television wiring cleanup. These are all things that I had on hand already, so it didn't really cost me anything out of pocket, but it was a major upgrade. I love this. This is a 7-piece wood dash trim kit from wooddash.com. It is 3D molded plastic in a wood finish with a gloss clear coat. It was about $270, but I think that it really lends kind of an upscale look to the cab of the van that was otherwise just sort of a utilitarian kind of dashboard look. Expensive, but for me, it was worth it. Here we have my Lagoon table mount with a plastic marine style tabletop with integrated cup holders. I'm not positive I'm going to leave this tabletop on it. I'm still sort of browsing for something that's a little nicer, but I think that the increase in functionality is definitely worth the time and effort to install it. And I also have an installation video for this table as well. Sumo springs, I can't say enough about these. I think if you bought a Hymer Aktiv, this is a required upgrade. They replace the worthless bump stops in the back. They provide a lot of stability improvement as well as increase your load capacity. Money well spent. And finally, we have my MT50 solar monitor. Not only is this helpful for seeing just how much power your solar panels are generating, but it was instrumental in modifying the settings for the controller so that it would play nice with my new L1 lithium battery and not overcharge it and subsequently cause it to disconnect itself.
A recurring theme for people that are shopping for these vans seems to be, what did you pay for it? What's a typical or expected discount from MSRP? And what's reasonable to pay for one? So I'll just kind of walk you through the numbers on mine, and keep in mind that this is for the previous year model and they may not translate completely to this year's model, but this is what happened in my situation. So let's break it down. My Hymer Aktiv 1.0 is a 2018 model year, which is sitting on a 2017 ProMaster chassis. It's a ProMaster 2500. I do have the Volt Start system, EcoTrek lithium batteries, and the power step options. The MSRP was just over $108,000, and the final negotiated sale price of it for me was $84,998 plus registration, tax, etc., etc. Now, at the time, in August of last year, Hymer had extended their rebate on the 1.0 another month, and so I was able to get an additional $2,500 back on the purchase price of the van from Hymer. Now, the dealership did not want to handle that part of the transaction. They wanted me to deal directly with Hymer for my rebate. However, the terms and conditions of the rebate stated that it could be removed from the purchase price of the van at the dealership. So that's the route that I went, and everything worked out fine. So after the rebate, the final price was $82,498 plus dealer fees, registration, sales tax. So my out-the-door number, the OTD that you talk about, was $94,472. That's not an insignificant number. It's a pretty hefty purchase. And so you don't want to go into it blindly. On top of that, I have about $1,000 into assorted parts and upgrades and things like that. A lot of those, again, were things that I wanted to add, improvements, things that were on the nice-to-have list, like the Lagoon table mount, for instance. I wasn't suffering because I didn't have the Lagoon table. I just wanted it instead of the table that came in the van. The most expensive item on my nice-to-have list was the wood dash kit at about $270, or at least that was the most expensive on the list until today. I just ordered a replacement luxury mattress for the back of the van. It's coming in sections just like the mattress that came in the van, but it's a 7-inch luxury foam mattress, multi-layer, guaranteed to not get hard in cold weather, and it's supposed to be phenomenal. That was about $875. I just ordered it today, and I will have it in the next week or so, I imagine, maybe a couple weeks. They are made to order. You provide dimensions and cuts, and they will make it to order. On the website, oh, and I guess I should tell you, it's Tochta or Tochta, Tochta.com. I'll link it in the description. On their website, you can actually design a mattress and order it right there. However, it's a single mattress, and the mattress that comes in the Hymer is technically in 4 pieces, so I had to deal directly with them to provide them the measurements of each piece, and it ends up being a lot more affordable that way than trying to buy 4 individual mattresses off the website. So what kind of experience have I had with the van? The Hymer part of it has needed some help. The lithium batteries, as you probably already know, had an issue. I had to have one replaced. That was replaced under warranty, so it didn't cost me anything except for time off the road and having to take it back and forth to the dealer. But it was done and it's fixed. The replacement battery is a different series battery, and then my solar charger was overcharging it and it was shutting itself off, so I was able to correct that using the settings in the MT50 solar controller. There was also the pressure relief valve TSB that was done, again under warranty. That didn't cost me anything either. And other than that, I haven't really had any issues with the van. The van itself has been solid. It runs well, it gets good fuel economy considering what it is, and it's a relatively comfortable ride, all things considered. So just to summarize, my experience as a new RV owner has been very positive overall. The dealership was easy to work with. I had a great sales guy who really went to bat for me. The van itself has been solid. The Hymer part of the build has needed some help. You know, there are fit and finish issues, which it appears are being corrected over time. They have improved on some of their processes, and it seems like the vans are better than they were. But overall, other than the hiccup with the lithium battery, things have been okay, and I'm happy with it, and I'm looking forward to getting back on the road. Once my mattress arrives, I will be pretty much set. I don't really have anything else that I want to do or need to do to it, at least at this point. I'm sure something will come up while I'm using it, but for now, I think I'm in good shape. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. I'm happy to respond and answer anything that you might want to ask. And if you have any suggestions for things that you would like to see in these videos, or something that you would like me to focus on while I'm on the road, let me know and I will make every attempt to provide that for you. So with that, I'm going to finish my coffee, and until next time, have a great day.